Hello everybody, I'm SJM. We're jumping back into the Betweenlands here, down deep in the caves. I got a couple of sylvan items, or living, I guess, items made up here. Interesting thing about these are they seem to have their own mending ability. I don't know if it's experience based or if it's just time, like they just recover their durability over time. But I've used my sword lots, I've used the pickaxe a little bit so far, but they're back to full already. We just have to worry about watching their corrosion level and throw them into the purifier every so often, right, to get them back up to snuff. One thing with the corrosion levels, if you keep your tools in your wicker basket, they don't corrode at all while they're in here. So, I've had these in here for quite a while, enough for, even the living sword to get slightly corroded, and they haven't changed from where they were when I put them in there. So that is a thing there. So we came down deep as we could go here to try and find some of the rare ores, because now that we have the living pickaxe, we can actually mine up some of this blue stone, or blue dust, I guess, which is the pack developers addition to replace redstone. So this blue dust is used in all sorts of redstone type of things, right? Like pistons, right, where you would normally have the redstone, tracks, where you'd normally have the redstone, droppers, dispensers, comparators, repeaters, so on and so forth. So observers, all that stuff there. Normally where you'd have redstone, you now have blue dust. You don't necessarily need to mine this blue dust ore. I think if you just leave the blue dust ore there, it might grow up some of those crystals there on top of it automatically. Not 100% sure on that, because this is obviously the first time I've mined up some of it, but you'll get the blue dust, and if you're mining the protrusions that come out there, you'll get some of this dense stuff, which you just have to hammer on an anvil to get the dust out of it. So I have got lots of it for now. I found a little bit of this scabyst in this pool here, incidentally, so that was a thing there. Go down into this pool just to show you. Sometimes you want to watch out for these structures in the clear looking water. Do not go into the yellow looking water, the stagnant water, because that is not good for you. But if you find any of these and there's like a band of white going horizontally across it somewhere, that will indicate that there's a living crystal in there, and you want to mine those up because that's going to be an important part of going in there. So unfortunately none of these guys down here had any, and this is just a dead end there, so nothing too exciting else in this little area here. So I'm gonna make my way back. There was a ancient ruins, or what is it, underground ruin down here. Just mining those up and getting my blue dust right. And then there were some vases in those down here, so that's what we grabbed from in there. Always make sure you're using your caving rope when you're down here. V to connect and disconnect, because sometimes if you're connected and then you start fighting something, you're going to wind up with a whole bunch of rope back and forth all over the place from doing those movements, right? You're up here fighting, and then you retreat back, and then you'll end up with this great big maze. And picking it back up after yourself can be a little bit confusing, especially when it's running over top of itself all of the time. So we'll just show you what you're on the lookout for down here. I saw both valonite and scabyst ore on this trip, so I left it for when we got live. So this is the scabyst. It's a little bit bluish, almost looks like the bluestone, right? There's a little bit more green in this here. I think there's more closer this way. I'm just going to disconnect here for now. No, there isn't any bluestone right close by. Other than that one, but then the valonite is this pinkish color here. So now that we can mine that up, I've got a little bit more confidence in going ahead and using some of it moving forward here. And of course we've got the scabyst, which we need for some of the recipes there in the roots that are the whole reason I came down here in the first place. Did want to take a quick jump into this pool here as well. I wanted to do it live with y'all and see if we can't find some life crystals. Fortunately, it doesn't look like there's any that way, and I'm a bit too afraid to go too far that way. Easy, anglerfish, easy. Coming up on the other side of this is interesting for sure. Oh my god, a harlequin toad down here. Why are you down here, little friend? I don't even have wings on me to be able to try and tame you. Bunch more blue dust, so we can see that blue dust is a... I can't tell. I'd need to have them close by each other to be able to explain the difference a little bit better. I am not the best descriptor type person. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper on in that way. Oh yeah, all this water activity is taking a toll on me. Corruption there. Oh well, nothing to see down here. Alright, and then the other thing I wanted to point out was this guy right here. So there's an offering table with some kind of something on it. I don't know if I should be disturbing it or not. Here's the other body of water I was interested in. Hello, swamp hag. I think there's another one kicking around here. Is that just my brain going crazy? don't think so, but with the state of my health, I should probably look at getting out of here. Back myself up into this corner here rather than being in an area where they can come at me from multiple different angles. There was another little, tiny little ruin here. Just always remember to pick up your cave rope after yourself, because it'll despawn after 20 minutes of being disconnected. So you can't leave it there and come back for it later. Well, you can technically, but stupid little parasite things. Yeah, tastes plain. I really need to stop. There we go. That away. I don't want to eat it for a little bit anyways. We need a light because I didn't realize I had left that so dark up here. Yeah, that's the deepest depths of the pitstone level that I've ever been to. So we'll bring you guys back when we get up to the surface, and we'll continue on with the roots chapter here. I think we've got what we need to continue. All right, back up to the surface, and bad news for us is it's raining. I went up and checked my crops right away and found out that rain is really bad for our crops. But I did want to point out just quickly there, once we get back up there, in our inventory there's a drop-off button. We just have to hit that, and anywhere where a chest has something of the same kind in it, it will drop it off automatically for us. So that's a really nice quality of life thing right there. Let's open our loot bag. And just and it doesn't do your hotbar, so only things in your regular inventory. Right, so with the compost there, you basically just take it in that form there. And once you have a place where you want to set up your farm, you just come up and you right click and it'll put a hole in the ground. And you can put the compost in like that there. Now I put down one pear seed and one of the fungus spores, and they were growing. But then obviously the rain came and washed them all away. So this time I can do 2 pear seeds, and we'll go over the pear seed here in a minute. Because I did want to test different things. I made some purified swamp dirt. That's just made by taking the swamp dirt and throwing it in the purifier. Just note that process is really intensive on the sulfur, because it takes 1 piece of sulfur per operation in the purifier. And then I guess we need to go back here. Spores. Ah, that's the expensive part of that craft right there, the orange dendrithist. This orange dendrithist is pretty hard to find. It's not impossible, but it's the blue is a lot more common. Do I have all the dendrithist up here? I do. Green. The green is the common kind. It's not too hard to find. But the orange, basically, I only found 1 block of it in the structure that you can find it in. And the rest I got from that white tower. And that, we'll need a pterospore. Sulfur shelf. And I'm blanking on the last one again already. Blue mushroom. That to that. Go up to our Fey crafter. Get a knife. We got more spores. And I guess it's kind of unintuitive, but I guess we'll just have to put a roof over top of this area here. And maybe something else to stop the water from flooding in that way. I think that the moss is good for that. I think we can do that with moss. Alright, I'm going to build that up and wait for these things to grow, and we'll be back after it does and continue on. I was hoping that would be done after the caving session, but obviously we ran into the derp of the day right there. Alright, after quite a while, we're back. Just caught myself my second harlequin toad, because the first one I caught, I didn't rope him up properly. So this time I got a lead, which is pretty simple if you've been killing some of the sludge monsters. So just 4 rope and a thing gets you 2 leads. So I've got him attached now, so he should be able to stick around, and we'll be able to get our Fey leather once we get our pears harvested up. So this is the second harvest I've done on the mushroom, and these pears just became ready. I think they're ready. Yep, just right click on there and we get a seed and 3 pears. Excellent. Yeah, it looks like 3 pears were on there, right? Interesting enough, the one on the purified soil seemed to be growing, like the stages seemed to go faster at first, but this one caught up and then eventually, you know, finished even before this one there. And then the other thing that I've been noticing is that these moss doesn't stick around. It grows and it dies, and like it expands. Sometimes it expands inwards. Most of the time it expands outwards. But it doesn't seem to be a reliable way to be able to keep it down there in case it rains. So I think what I'll be doing is eventually moving my entire farm maybe to the top of this tree. That's kind of what I was thinking. Oh, really? Sir? This was a lot bigger on the top, obviously, so I might expand it out or do something different, but probably get it up off the ground so that water can't seep in from the sides. If not, then maybe just elevate it by one block, and that might be enough to do the trick. Hi, 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 hi. Hey, and we got a white heart out of that guy. Nice. Put those guys back there. Really nice now with the water. I don't really have to worry about it all. Just like that, we got our 2 bottles filled back up. I've had to replace this filter one time already. That's what it is. That is what it is. Nothing we can do about that. And I'm not getting too lucky on the lurker skins in there. I've got lots of angler tooths out of it, but not been getting a lot of the lurker skins, which was the one thing that I wanted. I did go ahead and start working on this elixir quest line here. So I made the sickle because we need this to make the runic shears anyways. I've just been afraid to go and use it on anything. I'm just going to turn it straight into the shears right away. And then the expensive one, obviously this herb lore book, because it took 6 lurker skins. And then it had us go and get a gecko cage, which you can craft it. It's not too hard. But I just made, or I found mine in a ruin somewhere, so I grabbed that, made a net, went out, found a gecko, captured it, and put it into the cage. And then I think we have to have the herb lore book. Oh, that's the journal. There's the herb lore book on us, and then we feed the screw PETA. You can see the gecko's muscles twitching uncontrollably. This item seems to have some more undiscovered aspects. So let's grind up another one and feed it to him and see. Okay, so the ground leaf has the Azuin aspect for sure. And still more undiscovered aspects. Doing too much experimentation. Poor little friend, my gecko friend. I think he changed color even. Oh, there he is. See, he's back to his regular color again. Still more undiscovered aspects. There you go. So you'll just keep repeating those experiments to figure out all of those things, and then just following along with the quest line there, we can get some elixirs, which are like the potions in base Minecraft. So that'll be helpful, especially as we're looking to go into a Lich Tower here coming up soon. But anyways, that's enough of violating all of the PETA rules for right now. Let's get back into the root stuff. So we need to make the Paraskaya. Not sure how to say this one, but we need a wild root, a scabyst, a reed, fungus, and a pear. And it's a pyre crafting ritual. Alright, so we'll need a scabyst, a reed, a pear, fungus, and of course one of these guys, wild root. And we'll need our octane ingot to start the pyre ritual. Looking to see if I've got any tar friends over there. I wonder if this is still running the supplication ritual and I shouldn't do it. We'll see if this turns off when I do this ritual, I guess. Just throw all those guys on there. Okay, and it actually shows us what it will form if we do the ritual. It did not turn that off. Yes, it is still active. Excellent. Where are you, sir? You like to come say hello? Say hello to my little friend. Oh, I only got 2 more pairs off of that one. Interesting. Right, now for the shears. This will be a big step for me as a pacifist, right? So we needed the sickle, which was the 3 valonite. Two flowers, and then runestone. Runestone was a fey crafting ritual. Just needed 4 crag rock and a dendrithist shard, and that gets you 8 runestone. Or you could use a piece of scabyst, and that only yielded 4 runestones. So right now I've got more dendrithist than I did scabyst, so I just did the bigger craft. So I've ended up with the 8, but 2 of those. 2 of those, and the sickle. And this one was a fey crafting ritual, if I recall. Yes. So we'll need a knife to complete the fey ritual. Aha! Time to test. Shears. So as a pacifist, I am able to do this every 5 minutes. So right there, we got our first piece of fey leather. Excellent. So then the next thing I'll be doing with these guys is going down into the caves and looking for one of the infestations so that we can get started on our string. But first, see, the water's getting in here already. I did put away all of my do that and then hope that this holds. Don't know if it can sneak in past the fence posts or not, but I already accomplished what I needed to accomplish, so I will leave that and report back on it later. But let's just run down quickly and see if we can't find an infestation. I'll bring you back when we get there. And here we have it. It's only been like 2 minutes, so I doubt... Nope. We were able to do that, and we are now able to continue on this quest line here to get some silk, which opens up a few other things, most notably getting this tool belt is one of the big things I was looking to get to. That requires 2 silk bundles and a bunch of leather. We can probably use the fey leather because that's more renewable for me at the moment. And then just getting this silk bundle, we'll need some of these spindles, which isn't too hard at all. Some right trip hooks or just that. Yeah, and get a tool belt. And finally, I wanted to do some testing with the tool belt, similar to the wicker basket that I talked about earlier there, and see if that allows us to not have our tools corrode if they're in the tool belt and not out in the open over time. But I think, yeah, we're at the half-hour mark here now. It's pretty much time to wrap this one up here, but happy to have progressed to this stage here now. So because, yeah, just doing that should stop the water from coming in too far. But yeah, obviously with these, the moss decaying and whatnot, we're going to have to have this elevated up off the ground, because I don't think the water goes up. Obviously the water would get there because it's exposed to the sky, but this one doesn't hold true anymore because I've taken out the top of this tree. Enough thinking and conjecturing about things. We'll just move this to the proper area. Yeah, move our farm to an elevated area, not have to worry about it anymore. And yeah, now that we've got pears, we can make jam-filled donuts till our heart's content. Don't need to ration them hard anymore. And we can do farming, so that's a thing in itself too, right? This makes this bulb, but I don't see any uses for the bulb past that. So I don't know why you would ever do that, but maybe that comes later on. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. I appreciate you all, and we will see you in the next one.